It's the Playhouse Podcast with Kat and JJ.
Can't believe it. I missed everything.
Missed the show?
What am I going to do?
Check out the Daily Podcast.
Hey, growing up, did you have a hot sibling? And how did that go for you? I'm guessing if you played your cards right, this could have been lucrative. We asked that question early this morning, got some unique responses. They're coming up in a couple of seconds as we start up your podcast. Let's go.
So I'm watching on Netflix. It's called Nobody Wants This with Kristen Bell. And she falls in love with this guy who's Jewish and he wants to be this head rabbi. And you can't if you're going to be with like this blonde who's not Jewish. Like she'll get shunned by everybody that goes to temple. You know, it's just not ideal. And then especially if it's the rabbi.
Can rabbis have wives?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, they sure can.
And so his whole thing is we're just going to try to make it work. Please don't take it off the table of converting. You know, it's just all about that. It's really funny. It's dry wit and humor. It's kind of like Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's really good. But her sister is very funny in it, like springs it on the family that she has a new boyfriend and she brings him to her mother's birthday and it's her psychiatrist or psychologist. So it's her therapist that she's been going to. And she's been seeing him for 2 years with her problems, not seeing him as a boyfriend. But they're like, this is the most unethical thing we've ever heard. You cannot date your patient.
Yeah, that's way out of bounds.
And I don't know
prison for that.
If you're a therapist, weigh in because obviously you know the rules. But is there a grace period after they're not your patient anymore that you can? So all the while she's still his patient.
I think the problem is that you have kind of like psychological overview of this person, right? Like it's probably unethical, but I'm sure.
And that's what comes into play. Like he knows her thoughts before she says her thoughts because he's been in her head for 2 years. And then they're walking around the downtown area and this woman's like, hey, and he goes, hey, I haven't seen you for a while. And he's like, yeah, it's another patient I used to date. And so it's his thing. Dang. And they're like, this is so wrong of him to do. But I want to know, anybody in or have been in a relationship where probably wasn't looked upon as ethical? Maybe, I don't want to hear about like a Mary Kay Letourneau and Billy Falau situation, like a teacher and a student.
How about dating your ex-husband's brother? That's unethical, right?
It's not unethical. Well, it's just like morals.
So it doesn't necessarily break bro code, but it's unethical. That's what you're looking for?
Yeah, unethical. So, and maybe it could be a teacher-student relationship, but they're out of high school. Maybe they are 19 and you're 25 or something like that. You know, it would be great. I think radio. You're just so don't say no. You've been in an unethical relationship.
I would bet that some people called your relationship unethical when you were dating that guy that was 30 years older than you were when you were 19.
He was 20 years older.
20 years older.
And maybe my parents couldn't say that because they have a 20-year age gap. So
that's what you said.
That's a neener in your face. I'm watching Nobody Wants This with Kristen Bell. It's really well written. It's funny. But her sister is very funny, kind of makes the show. She is currently dating her therapist, which is so unethical. Like when they found out.
Like, I'm pretty sure you go to prison for this.
You signed an oath. You signed an oath to protect somebody's secrets, their brain, to help them be a better person, work on their mental health. You have a huge responsibility, and then you pounce. And that's what this guy does, I guess. He dates all of the people that he works with. And so... And that's the truth. Like she told her deepest, darkest secrets. He's been in her head for 2 years and then he started dating her.
Lindsay had texted in, obsessed with that show. So she's down with you as well.
It's so good.
The big question is, have you ever been in what some people would consider an unethical relationship? And Dan, I appreciate you calling right away, man. What's going on?
Yeah, I was just with my daughter's kindergarten teacher, and you know, some of my friends in class said I could do better, and I don't know why they didn't like this person. They said, you know, I think she's cute. She has a nice smile. She had maybe a little bit of an overbite. But,
I don't know if that matters, but so you're telling me your daughter is 5 or 6 years old, and the only person on the planet you could find to date was her teacher?
This economy is just does not work. It just doesn't work very well. There's just not many people out there, and everyone.
So she was cheap enough to date, is what you're saying?
Because she's a kindergarten teacher. This is crazy,
that
dude.
she would take just about anybody because of the economy.
You're wild.
First off, my eye won't stop twitching. It's one of those.
You know what that
Look
means?
at this one. You see the bottom of it?
Yeah, you can't really tell.
It is so annoying. Wow. And two,
Crack your neck.
the mom bomber jackets were a hit. Everywhere we went, I felt like I was walking taller. They had those industrial fans for the kids. And so every time you'd walk by, you'd feel like a supermodel. So I was like, we all walked by at the same time, and it blew our hair. But the moment we knew was when two moms from two totally different teams walked up at two different times. They said, "Where did you get those?" And I said,
You
Amazon.
said Temu. I ordered them in June.
I said Amazon. And you know what? I was even nice enough, even though we were playing both of those moms' kids' teams, I even let them in on the fact that they come in 3 sizes smaller than what you should get.
You didn't want them to go through your growing pains?
I didn't. I was like, I'm going to be a nice person. So I said, whatever size you are, you can go up 3 and you'll be semi-comfortable. I looked in the description of this on Amazon. Nowhere in the description did it say the word youth.
Did you put it in the review? Like,
I never look at reviews.
Mom here who doesn't read much.
I know.
I tried to order these in the biggest size possible for a child, and they didn't fit us adults.
You know, my friend Kylie always looks at reviews. Like, she looks
do
at
too.
reviews immediately, does not order anything until she looks at reviews. How weird is that?
I do the same thing.
I never do. I just kind of trust.
If it's more than $10, I'll look at reviews.
Okay.
And I'll look at the most recent ones just to make sure that, whoever got it just ahead of me
Yeah.
didn't really have a bad product.
What if it's someone that works there? What if it's a bot?
Right, you never know.
We couldn't have found better bomber jackets. They fit true to size. You know, that's all they have to do is type that in
If you're
over
not
and
a
over
kid.
again.
How was your weekend?
It was good. It was long. It was fun. Chill Friday. It was just perfect. Like, picked Liam up. I worked out a little bit, picked him up. He had the whole gym to himself, so he was kind of doing some tournament eve, free throw shooting, all
Prepping.
that stuff. And then we went home. I made some dinner. We hung out. We watched a movie. And then he went to bed, and we had a 9-hour basketball tournament the next day. You can tell when men design basketball tournaments and brackets and how to do things, because games are 3-4 hours apart, and it's just so stupid. It's so stupid, and it can be done more effectively.
Oh, you should butt in then.
Absolutely.
You should definitely
Invite
jump
me
in there
in.
and say, hey, guys, I can do this better.
100%.
Thanks for volunteering all this time, but I can do it better.
But then also, listen, I volunteer much of my hours of my life, so I don't even want to hear. I don't feel bad for anybody volunteering to run a basketball tournament. I don't feel bad for you at all. Good job. But I do think that you could have done a lot of things differently. You could have put out tables and chairs next to the concession stand. You could have had hand dryers that worked. You know, you could have had maybe a place for people to change their babies so I didn't have to see baby wieners everywhere. You know, it was just like, I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jen
think
Clark,
about
everybody.
stuff. Absolutely today.
God.
All of these aren't, it's not just Jen Clark moments. It is like common knowledge. Get your stuff together. But anyway, it was really fun to watch them
But
play.
anyway,
And then what did we do on Sunday? Sunday was really fulfilling. We got up, we went to church, and then we did a Hope for the Holidays shop for our family
right on.
that we adopted. It's this mom who has 3 kids down on her luck, and everybody gets to that point, one spot or another in their life, then you need some help, and you never know when things are going to come back around. So it's kind of fun to shop for little girls. Like, I don't get to shop for little girls often aside from my niece. And so we did that. And then we went home and watched the Vikings game, went for a long walk and grilled out some turkey burgers. And now I'm here with you. So what about you?
all coming full
How was your
I
horrible trip?
I spent 14 hours
my
in a
God.
Sprinter van this weekend.
Say less.
Okay, so the saving grace was there was 9 other people in there with us. and they were all fun, cool people.
I know your biggest worry was how many times you were going to have to stop. How many times?
Well, we only stopped on the first 4-hour ride, I think we stopped 4 times so people could pee
once an hour
and a little lunch and stuff like that. And on the way back, it was once. We were like, it was dark and tired, and we're in the middle of nowhere, and everyone's like, just muscle through. So spent the weekend watching hockey games, and then last night we had the end of our season football banquet, which was really, really cool. A little pasta bar and some awards handed out. So it was kind of fun to wrap that stuff up. Did you have a hot sibling? Was it a situation where it was tough to follow in their footsteps, or
your so-and-so sibling? Oh my God, there's a smoke show.
I'll tell you where this gets messy is I'm coaching high school football this fall. And on the sidelines, I'm just kind of hanging out or running through some special teams. And I hear some of the senior boys talking about how hot the sophomore sister of another boy is.
No.
And like they're not invested, right? But there's a certain protection thing as a big brother.
Yeah.
Don't you ever talk about my sister that way. And they're like, but she's a dime. And I'm like, my God, you guys. And I'm sure back in the day, it was even worse for us. But like, imagine being paired really close as a sibling, like just a year apart.
Yeah.
And one of them is just off the charts hot. Imagine having to deal with that.
So I told this story to Derek because I thought it was really funny. I had posted some clips of Liam playing basketball, and I've now come in contact with my friend Alana. She was like the hot one in the group. You know, you always have that hot one, and then we all look kind of average. But she was hot. Her brother was hot. He was so tall. I think that was the appeal too.
Jeans.
But his name was Matt, and like sleepovers at her house, he just always hoped that he would be home. He had a friend named Jesse Allison. Oh my God. And so both of them were there. You were like, jackpot, never going home. But like he would give you an ounce of attention and you would just hold on to it forever. And she knew she had a hot brother, you know, like not that she thought he was hot, but she knew what we were doing. And so he started liking some of because he was a huge basketball star in high school. And so he would like Liam's stuff. And I told the story to Derek, and I think he got a little jealous.
Yeah, I can see just the way you're talking about it, how he would.
I'm okay.
Sully, I appreciate you joining the show, man. You had a hot sibling?
Yeah. Actually, I was the hot sibling.
Let's go. Look at this guy. All right.
Okay.
Let's go.
Humble.
Yeah. How do you know you were the hot sibling?
Oh, man. Well, let's say that my sister's friends, man. Well, I would lay in my bed almost every weekend that they would come over. And sometimes, you know, I leave my door cracked just a little bit so I could, let's just say, hear their conversations or whatnot.
Sure.
But when I would wake up in the middle of the night, like 1, 2 in the morning, I would always see some eyes peering through my door.
Dude, that's
I ended up finding out that it was... Yeah, you know, I thought it was creepy at first until I found out who it was looking. You know, it was one of my sister's friends that I really had a crush on. You know, she was a brunette and just amazingly beautiful. And so, you know, I didn't mind, but I also didn't want her to know. So what I would do is I would sneak into the kitchen for some little milk and cookies in, so to say. And I make sure I have my shirt off. And, you know, I got on my long socks and I got on my shorts, you know, the ones that show my legs.
You knew what you were doing.
Give her a little chest and thigh action.
The struggle of having a hot sibling. And then Sully called in and he's like, oh, I was the hot sibling, so it really wasn't a struggle at all. Dominican J, your struggle was real?
Yeah, my struggle was real. I was also the hot sibling.
Oh, you were. What a rough life. So what would happen? Like you'd catch people peeping at you while you were showering? Like was it your sister's friends?
No, it was I was kind of the ringleader of my older brother and his friends.
Okay.
Because I would always get the good looking ones. And then I actually had it pretty good through college. I started after college I got a serious building job, and my brother would call me from the bar and say, hey, you got to get up. She's got a hot friend. And I told her I got a brother at home waiting, and he's drunk already. And so I would splash a little beer on myself, make myself smell like I was drinking, and then, he'd bring me home. Oh, yeah,
because that's what we want. We want a man that just reeks like booze.
What an aphrodisiac when Miller Lite is all over your shirt.
From the bar, so.
Okay.
And it seemed to work out for you.
So what happened? You're not like that anymore?
With what? When they come home? Oh, yeah, usually the ones he would find would have a hot friend, and then they didn't find anyone. So he said, yeah, my brother, he just left from the bar a little bit ago, and he went home, so we can go there and go in the hot tub.
You were the fallback.
Yep, he called me and say, fire up the hot tub and have a beer quick and splash a little on you so it looks like you're drinking all night. And
rough
let's
life.
Party.
So was that a peak for you? Did you peak at that point in life? And now
You
it
mean
was just
peak
like,
by splashing some
Yeah,
Pfeiffer
it
on
was
your hoodie?
downhill since then.
yeah, it's been downhill.
Yeah.
We got more Ed Sheeran tickets to give away Tuesday morning. All you got to do is show up at about 6:05. We're going to give them away right out of the gates. We'll get you to see Ed Sheeran. There'll be perfect stocking stuffers, or maybe you just want to keep them for yourself. But you can win yours at 6:05 during the live show Tuesday morning as we wrap up your podcast.
Bingo. How fun.
Last week, someone lost an eye at bingo.
Bingo.
Bingo what bingo? Bingo.
All right, so here's how listener bingo works. If you're the first person to call through with your amazing story, we'll get you on and you get the bingo, but you have to fit one of the following two criteria. Maybe you're somebody listening
Who has ever had an intense moment at work? You went to work thinking it would just be a normal day. I don't think police officers go into work thinking it's going to be a normal
There's
day.
nothing normal for those guys.
I think they just hope it's not going to be super eventful, but this female deputy had to deal with this guy that was getting a dewey.
He advised, he just charged at me, then just ran back into the car. He can't go anywhere. It's missing a wheel. Have a seat for me, sir. If you approach me, you're going to get tased. He's trying to get my gun.
I'm going to tase you.
Okay. You know, some people just don't think about their next move, but I'm sure she went home and she was like, you will not believe what happened at work today. So just an intense moment.
Oh, you mean like when the guy broke into our building and wanted to kill me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
this
was one
guy
of those
might do
days.
something. I don't
that
know.
guy looks murdery. I'm on the hunt for anyone listening who has a horrible nickname. I met a guy this weekend. We're at this casino and people are up at the bar and we were playing blackjack and stuff. And I got introduced to a guy as, hey, do you know Puddles? And
Yeah.
I said, no, I don't think I've ever met Puddles before. And he was a local and everybody knows him as Puddles because when he was 20 years old, he peed himself.
Let it go.
This guy's-
Poor guy. He's
this
lived
guy's-
how many lifetimes since then?
He's
There's a
in
guy
his-
in Motley named Gummy. And he always just sits there, I said, but he has no teeth.
Kat had brought this up just a couple of seconds ago. I didn't know anything about this. This is salacious.
It is salacious, and I remember this being a headline. And then, you know how Law & Order SVU twists it, like ripped from the headlines, but then they make it their own? They did this, and I remember that. Morgan Geyser, she's currently on the run. She was the one that was convicted in stabbing one of her classmates when they were 12, 19 times because she, quote, said the fictional Slender Man character had told her and a friend to do this.
So she heard the voices. She stabbed him 19 times. They died, right?
If they didn't, their families would all die, is what she said. So then she was put into for 7 years this mental hospital, and she was sentenced to maximum 40 years. Okay. And then a judge, for some reason, is like, let's take her out of there. Let's put her in a group home. And then just the other day in Wisconsin, she cut off her monitoring bracelet.
Slipped out the door.
And is gone. So
Like a fart in the wind.
her family's attorney released a video like urging her to turn herself in immediately.
How
I'm
far
not
is she
sure
going to get, though, right?
how
Isn't
much
she going to
TV
get
she's
picked up
watching.
stealing from a Quick Trip somewhere?
I don't know. But that was, yeah. So that happened when she was 12. Now she's 22. But
How long could you survive on the run? If you're in a group home, you probably have little to no possessions, clothes on your back probably, right? Maybe a cell phone. You cut your bracelet off. How long could you survive out there?
I feel like I watch enough On the Lam documentaries. Maybe I give myself like a year, and then
I think
I'll
it's-
slip up.
By the
I'll
way,
slip up
it's
somewhere.
way easier for a chick to lay low, by the way, because here's what you can do. I'm down on my luck. Can I just get a place to stay for a week? I'll pay you at the end of the week.
Yeah.
Most guys or ladies that were going to have a place to rent
Mm-hmm.
would be like, sure, no problem. I got you. But if a guy does that and
Yeah.
he looks disheveled, like he's been through the woods, no friggin' way.
If
you're
I
renting
cut
that
my
guy.
hair, if I dye my hair in a gas station bathroom, switch up my clothes. then I gotta
Realistically,
throw it in
though,
a burning dumpster.
You go on the run on a Friday. How long till they pick you up?
a year from that Friday.
You couldn't survive a year on the run.
My slip up is I love to visit. You know, I'll She'll be at a library somewhere or a cafe, maybe even Barnes and Noble.
Kat will get into the Starbucks. She'll be sitting there sipping out of half-empty cups in the garbage.
Do I look familiar?
And then she'll go, have you heard me on the radio? I'm really, really popular.
In no way are we making light of this, but where could she be? You know, when anybody is ever on the lam, when it's like a handful of prisoners, that is so scary because they will do anything to not go back. Because then you're going to get more time.
And if you're going to bust out of the group home, do it in August. Like, you can still sleep outside in August. It's too cold to sleep outside now at night.
She didn't give it much thought. And judging from her past decisions, she doesn't give things much thought. So
I would be curious, real quick, how long you think, as you're listening to the show, Kat could survive on the run?
I'm going to see what she looks like because I forgot. Does she have any, like, oh, God, she'll be found?
She looks unique.
She's got to look like you would see that at Target and know, right? Right?
Well, I was going to say she looks like I think I know like 12 boys that look like that. You know what I mean? Like she looks like.
Well, she might have grown her hair out since then.
We were talking about the Slender Man girl,
Morgan Geyser.
She
has been found.
They found her. Okay, so they just found her early. So she was only out 72 hours.
Yes.
So, but she made it to another state. So anyways, if you don't know this story, when she was 12, she said voices from the Slender Man told her she had to stab a classmate. So she stabbed him how many times? 19 times?
A girl. It was another girl. It's very scary because it wasn't just her. It was another classmate that also partook in coaxing this young girl over. And the fact that they had it all planned, they said that the Slender Man told them if they didn't sacrifice her, all of their family members would be killed and sacrificed. So in their mind, they were like, well, this makes sense. So anyway, she went away and now she's 22. She went away when she was 12 to a mental hospital and then they let her out. They let her go stay at a group home and then she took off her monitoring bracelet. She's been on the lam. So, but now she's been found.
Cut those things off too. You think that would be a little bit more robust. By the way, most texters, the most common answer of how long could Kat stay on the run is exactly the same amount as this girl, 3 days. Stacey, how long do you think, though, by listening to the show, you think Kat could stay on the run if she just left with her clothes?
I say a week. I give her a week.
And why a week? Because that's a short amount of time. I said a year.
That's way too long. Kat's going to get caught the next day.
Yeah, I'd say in Minnesota, if it gets too cold, if you don't have the resources, if there's enough people looking, I would say really the resources, honestly, just getting too cold and getting bored and honestly just being like, I'm done.
How long do you think you could make it? If you busted out of the mental institution one night, how many days before you got caught, Stacey?
I'd give it about a week or two.
No way. There's no way.
Person.
There's no way. Where are you going to go? Who are you going to call?
Yeah, but I have really great family members. I feel like.
And they're going to go to prison for you?
I'll find some family members.
Carolina, so.
Yeah. I'd go to the ones that
take off there. But.
Like my parents, they'd go to my parents right away. They'd go to my
Of course they would. They'd have people sitting outside your brother's house right away.
But I'd go to someone else. I'd go to like we're ride or die, so I'd go to a cousin's house that they'd never go and expect.
You guys are all high. There's no way you get away with a week. There's just not a chance. Without any ID or any currency, you're done in a day.
What about you?
I actually have runaway skills.
It doesn't matter if you have skills. It's how you look. You have a very unique look about you.
Listen, I put a baseball cap on backwards and nobody knows who I am.
It's not true. It's not like sample day at Sam's Club where you can just put glasses on and they'll forget. You look the same. You just look like you have a hat on.
I would give myself 6 months before I was just like, man, I'm tired of running. I could do this for 6 months. Stacey, there's no way you make it a week. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bust your bubble, but don't be a criminal because you're never going to make it. So Saturday afternoon, I get this random text from a college buddy. It was kind of a group text of dorks that I used to know. And it just said, y'all ever got weird hairs? And there's like 10 guys on this. And anyways, it's from my friend Goose that I knew really well in college. And he said, every day when I get out of the shower, I notice like a small patch of coarse black hairs on my right shoulder. They're not there. He shaves them off. They're not there when he goes to sleep. He doesn't feel them growing. But there's a small patch about the size of a dime. He showed everybody a picture. I'm like, what is...
See, it's not a big deal for a guy to text that. If it's a woman and she's like, oh, I just had a son. Anybody else still have that testosterone and you have nipple hair now? Like, that's a big deal. Guys have nipple hair. That's not a big deal. You guys are supposed to be hairy. We have a lot of upkeep. So
What's weird about your body?
I'll show you someday. But I have a scar from the middle of my stomach, and then it kind of hooks around like an old-fashioned door, like a Narnia, lock. And then it goes all the way down towards my, like right above my pelvic area. So it's like they gutted me like a fish. And
was this for colon surgeries?
That one was for the hernia, I believe. And it just wasn't a pretty stitch. It wasn't, someone didn't go to school for it. Like my C-section scar, I'm going to give her a shout out, Pinkerton. She's an artiste. I have to tell you, she was incredible.
I would bet.
She sews from the inside until she gets to the very last bit, and then she sews it. You won't even tell. You couldn't even tell.
I would bet women doctors, women surgeons take a little bit better care of women just because they know it's something they're going to be conscious of.
Well, I hope that's not the case. Sometimes you'll see an OnlyFans star and you're like, well, she just had a C-section. So obviously her doctor didn't take good care of her. But yeah, my gal, she knew what she was doing and then went to do the hernia surgery. It's a very distinct scar. I will not be wearing a bikini anytime soon, but it makes me me.
You should get a tattoo around it to embrace the scar. Like a giant dinosaur that has that scar from getting a C-section.
Okay.
No?
What's the bad brother? Is it on Lion King? He has that scar around his eye. His name is Scar.
Scar, yeah. You're right.
I could put an eye right there, like an evil eye.
But it'd have to be his full character.
Well,
in color.
Dedication.
I want to know what's weird about your body. You got a little patch of hair here. Maybe you got a weird scar that looks like a shepherd's hook.
Maybe an extended tailbone that you can wiggle.
You've been watching Shallow Hell again. All right, so this is the. You ready?
I was born ready, baby. This is exciting to me. This is why I love this job. Just to call people and tell them that you're going to paradise in 81 days.
For the last couple of weeks, we've given you a chance to call in, correctly predict the right reindeer that's going to win a race, and instantly activate your name for an all-inclusive trip for two to the Mexican Mayan Riviera with us in 81 days.
So we took the whole list of all the names. I put them on pieces of paper. First, initially, we had a Kleenex box. I said, we are KCLD.
She's like, that's too janky.
Yeah,
too janky.
Too janky. But they lock up all the really nice tumbler things all around this building. So it was very hard to find. But then I found this guy.
We have a bingo tumbler.
Yeah.
And so Kat's put everybody's name in here that's qualified. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spin it until there's one name left in there.
Okay.
And then we're going to call that person and give them an all-inclusive trip for two to Mexico.
Okay.
All right.
Put the microphone by it so we can hear the paper. This is radio. And they're all flying out. There goes 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is working really well. Go slower, maybe.
Got to go reverse.
4, 5, 6.
There's 2 left.
Oh,
one left.
Oh,
this is the winner.
man, there it is.
This is the winner.
Okay.
The winner of an all-inclusive trip for two to Mexico.
Show me the name, and then we're going to call them.
She didn't give me any numbers on here.
Well, I know. I thought we were going to call them next.
Oh,
right?
I thought we were going to make it all one. Okay.
Well, here, I'll give you the number. I'm ready.
Yeah, go ahead. If you write it down.
Yeah.
Let's call this person.
Sorry, we need to communicate better.
Beauty of live radio.
Okay, let's do it. Let's see if they are awake. Could be a guy, could be a girl.
Knowing our show, there's nobody going to be answering here.
They don't answer. I'm going to cry.
I knew it.
Should we put all them?
Hello?
Pedro.
Yeah.
Hey, you're live on the radio. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
I would hope so. What are you doing right now?
Oh.
I'm at work right now.
You are?
Oh, well then, would it bother you if we told you you just want an all-inclusive trip for two to the Mexican Riviera? Let's go,
Hey, I was
Pedro!
just listening to you guys right
Nice.
now, too. Like 3 minutes ago when you said 3 minutes, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
man.
So if I remember you, Pedro, you qualified with us and we said, who you bringing? And you were like, I think I'm going to bring my 3-year-old or however,
Yeah.
like a really young kid. We're like, yeah, back to the drawing board. So who are you bringing?
I honestly, I might bring a family member or something. You
Well, there's
know,
nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's up to you. It's your-
Yeah. Whoever can party and have a good time with you, that's the only qualification. Okay.
All right.
You're good on a passport? You're okay with traveling internationally?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. I love this.
This is so
Congratulations.
awesome.
I'm so happy you picked up an all-inclusive trip for two to Mexico. You're going with
Good
us, Pedro.
job.
81 days, man. 81 days.
Thank you for answering.
Yeah.